Okay, it's Thursday, March 2nd. This is a morning SPY update about an hour into trading. I'll kind of go over what's unfolding here, and it's kind of a tricky day, and it was kind of a day of conflict right from the start. First of all, coming into the session here, you had three red bars here. That was a compound outside bar. This bar, so you kind of already broadened in the short term. That means there was no real actionable signal to the downside, even though, on the monthly chart, we have a 2-down month that's projected down here until proven otherwise. But in the short run, we kind of broadened a little bit with potential exhaustion risk. And you can see here so far after 1 hour, we have a little bit of a green bar going. But what's interesting here is if you look at the pre-market range between the blue lines, until we really get above the halfway point of yesterday's bar, we can't, and that would be the open of the month. At that point, maybe you can start projecting we're getting an outside bar to the upside, but until then, we're still way below the halfway point of the prior day, with a kind of a negative bias on that basis, but a positive bias on the open, a negative bias in the bigger picture that has a little bit of exhaustion risk. So that's kind of the conflict going on. But you can see here, at least in terms of if you didn't know any of that and you were just trading it outright, you would see your pre-market range was between these blue lines. The first bar didn't start down red below that range, so there was no sell signal. If anything, maybe you could look at this as a little bit of a buy signal on bar 2, just to see if, given you broadened out a little bit in the short run, are you going to get some kind of rally? You could see here, you did have this little target here, these pivots and yesterday's close kind of to reach, and that's what we're heading to now. So if you wanted to take some kind of counter trend trade to the upside and kind of then watch it real closely to see if it unfolds and maybe takes out the midpoint of yesterday, which is these or maybe even targets this area, and then if we can target these pre-market highs, see if you pause there and fail, or see if it really holds, and then that could be an outside day to the upside. And like I discussed, maybe you're going to get a little bit of a rally here to start the month before it eventually rolls over and turns lower. I still think the best trades here are just being patient and keeping that downward bias and waiting for more actionable signals to the downside, failure bars of some kind, 2 up, 2 downs, all kinds of things. But today, if you didn't get the immediate follow through below the pre-market lows, then you're kind of in conflict, and the time frames are down, bigger picture, but the short run is up a little bit, and we'll see what happens for the rest of the day. Now, like I said, the only thing you could have done on the 15-minute chart was try a long here, and at this point you can scale out up here and just kind of set up a no-risk trade to see if you hold the midpoint of that first bar, then maybe we can get a trend up all day long. I don't know. I mean, we'll watch the 15-minute chart and let that discover. The only way to get short now, in my opinion, is to come down, now that we have 4 or 5 bars here, if we come down past the midway point of that bar with some kind of big red action and pause, and that pause threatens to take out the lows of the day, which would threaten to take out the pre-market lows, then I'd look for a short. I wouldn't get aggressive with any failures up here. Maybe if you got a failure bar after taking out that pre-market high, if we get all the way up there, that could be a potential short trade, but it's nothing I'd get too excited about, or either that's going to happen later in the day. We probably wouldn't have much time left, so I'd rather wait till tomorrow type of thing. But anyway, that's kind of a morning update here. Coming into the session, it was going to be tricky, and it's kind of acting like I think it should, given the conflict in play. So still, though, an opportunity even here to take a very small base hit to the upside if you wanted to just do that for some reason. Otherwise, it's more of a sitting out kind of session, looking at individual stocks and trying to pick the best ones there. But again, buy is still down in the big picture, and we'll just have to see how the day unfolds.